All right, peace, peace, peace. What up? First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blesses your day. Um, by His mercies you are is blessing and blesses your day. By the mercies you are consumed. By His mercy you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house as body, and two are naturally alive. Man, I just want to go into something real quick. It's popped in my head this morning, man, because a lot of times too. Shout out to the brothers, some be a firstborn. Um, actually on the class I think it was Friday night's class or Saturday night's class or video. Even we talk about here a lot, man. What I was growing up was taught, man, even to this day, even so, we're constant reminder. Listen, man, the world doesn't owe us anything, man. Nobody owes us nothing. And we don't owe anybody else anything, but because a lot of times too, but the world owes us like nothing. Nobody owes us anything, man. And like because listen, even now this current generation, even like just the height of entitlements is growing amongst people. I would say especially now this younger generation, but it's just more grow. It's just being more heightened now, especially with just But I do want to say this though, even though we do not the world doesn't owe us anything. No one owes us any nobody owes us anything. The world doesn't owe us anything, man. But um I do want to go into this too, because a lot of times too we kind of don't, especially this generation. Pretty much when I was coming up, my parents coming up, not just mine, y'all brothers and sisters, y'all people's our parents, our grandparents growing up, man, they instilled in us, not probably not all of us, but majority of us, they instilled in us. Listen, okay, they instilled in us. Listen, the world doesn't owe you anything, man. You gotta you're not entitled to anything, pretty much, man. But and this was what kind of with this current generation is kind of because it always happened generations, of course, but this current generation is is grossly happening. It's really overt now, man. But because they're being taught how special they are, how this a sense of entitlement, and and they what they had to realize is, listen, you're valuable, you're special. Telling how great they are, how special they are, which is true, but only outside of But once you step outside them doors, or of your your parents, your family, your loved ones, even if you don't have family or whoever loves you, taking care of you, you're not that important. Honestly, you're not, because the real world, man, it's a cold world, as it was prophesied to be. But I will look at it in this aspect, we do owe the world one thing, right? We do owe the world one thing, and I'm gonna get into this too, because and we do owe each other, the world. And you're gonna see what world we talking about right now, because I just popped in my mind this morning. The one thing that we do owe the world. So let's get to some wisdom of Solomon real quick, because I can get this. I can get it in John 3:16, but I really want to be specific, man. Let's get this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 verse 24, because I want to get into this real quick, man, because of what one thing we do owe the world. It was in Psalm chapter 18 verse 24. For in the long garment, because it's talking about the Levitical priest. It's talking about it's talking about the Levitical priest. I think it's talking about Aaron, but it's talking about the Levitical priest. It says, for in the long garment it was the whole world, and the four rows was of the stones of the glory of the Father's graven, and thy majesty upon the diadem upon his head. So yeah, the whole world. So pretty much, the four those stones was each tribe of 12 tribes of Israel. Pretty much the world, in that aspect. So that world means it's even if you look it up, but it means one of the definitions is a group of people. Now that's lined up with John 3:16, but also too with John 3:16 as well. It's a balanced nuance thing, because Yahushua being the priesthood of Melchizedek, there was no 12 tribes during the time of Melchizedek. So pretty much anybody who's born of the world can be what you call them, can be saved, pretty much, that's born of the words, because and that might be it is what it is. It's relatively controversial, because I get it. Once we come to the word, a lot of times people make you hate that scripture, but no, listen, about being, at the end of the day, no matter what nationality or nation you are, it is about being born of that word. So and Yahushua being this scripture, Yahushua being the priesthood Melchizedek, the Melchizedek, there was no 12 tribes, and even in Genesis 20, why do you think Abimelech knew the law, man? Because the priesthood Melchizedek, man, the law was around. So pretty much, and Yahushua being that, that's just that just is what it is. Anybody born of the word, but that's neither here nor there. But But it's a nuanced thing with that whole John 3:16. It's a nuanced thing because yeah, it is talking about the world. Israel is talking about us, but also too since him being the priest of the Melchizedek, it's talking about anybody born of the Word. But that's neither here nor there. Um, um, but yeah, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18 verse 24. For in the long garment was the whole world, and in the four rows of the stones was the glory of the majesty graven. It says, in thy majesty upon the diadem upon thy hand. So yeah, the whole world. So this is talking about the world of Israel right now. This is talking about Israel. It just says, so listen, so we do owe the world this, man. Let's get this Romans 13:8. This is what we do owe the world. This is what we owe the world, meaning our people, man. This is one thing that we do owe. And then Yahushua said it himself. I command you all to love one another, the greatest commandment. Verse 13, because it still says the same thing. Romans 13:18 still says the same thing. Like, the world doesn't owe you anything. This is still saying the same thing, but we do owe each other that. Like, we what you call them? We love each other, man. Romans chapter 13 and verse 8. Romans chapter 13 verse 8. It says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law." So yeah, that's the one thing we do owe. That's the only thing we do owe. The world, man. Of course, we owe we brought the price. We owe the Most High Yahushua everything. Like, but that's the only thing as we owe the world. We do owe that we love one another, man. That's just is what it is. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another, he that loveth another have fulfilled the law. So see, so yeah, man. So we do owe each other. We do owe each other the love one another, man. So that's what, like, because a lot of times too, like, I remember seeing the clip of Tupac interview, which he was right, man. Just a lot of people had this mentality, had this mindset, which is true. Like, listen, I don't owe the world anything, and like, the world. I know what he meant by that, or people say I don't owe the world anything. I know what they mean by that, man. But in this aspect, in this world, we do owe to love one another, man. That's what we do, and I mean, I get it. There's a lot of things in that, man, because this focus on the message, because there's a lot of, like, a lot of things, because I know even like for me, like somebody that doesn't believe in Yahushua, the Yahushua still said to love. Like, listen, you could still treat them with love, and still treat them with love, but it's like, okay, cool, or that's really my thing. But even those in the word, out the word, man. That's it is what it is, man. But cause yeah, even in this, like, amongst each other, cause listen, like the brother cause listen, a lot of times too, man, like, like the Brother Chronicles, the Jew used to say, man, Jake doesn't owe anybody anything, man. Like, the so-called black man doesn't owe, like, especially because he was talking about this world, like, anything, man. Especially how, like, it is, man. What constantly, like, I mean, of course, us as a people, but like, the man being the head, like, yeah, man. And a lot of times too, people get, like, this is me. I speak as a man. People get, entitled to the so-called, like, black man, to Jake's energy, man. To Jake's, like, that he's just supposed to do these things, man. And it's all in the aspect of, like, and like saying in the movies, like the whole concept of the magical Negro. Like, we see this a lot of times in movies. Like, I meant to talk about this a lot too. I'm going to detour on this a little bit. Like, we seen this, like, I think the Brother Chronicle Judah did a little series or a little video on it, like, a while back, like years ago, about the Richard Pryor movie called The Toy, when the so-called Edomite Jake wanted the so-called black man as a toy, pretty much. And we seen this in the, like, movies with, like, the Green Mile, or like or even like this little small commercial that came out a few months ago with Shaq, like, when the little Edomite boy says the white boy says, I want Shaq to be my big brother, as a, like, as a as a president, because that's how Jake is viewed. So-called black man is viewed as as a in this current captivity, man. It is like, just a proverbial, like, the Chronicles you say the proverbial guard dog, or the just the toy, man. Like, his sole purpose is just to for other demographics, man. Like, and that's just is what it is, man. I speak as a man in that aspect, because I just noticed that too. Like, there are whole, like, purpose is, like, just for other, like, amongst other nations, like, even sometimes just even amongst our people, man. Like, it just, like, just yeah, man. That's just is what it is, man. Kind of what Sirach 40 goes into, man. But um, yeah, man. That's just is what it is too. Because they view us a lot of times just as a pet, like very real pet. Like, whenever, like, Jake, like, even in the world, of course, in the world, even outside the world, views themselves as a, like, with a ruling class mentality, or listen to self-defined. Listen, no, I'm just going to do it. My like, uh, my things my way. Then there are a lot of times that's where the scrutiny comes in, man. That's why people don't like a Floyd Mayweather, man. Pretty much, man. People don't like when like Jake is just a prime mover in his life, man. Not, and I'm also too, like, saying, listen, we're supposed to, like, our lives are supposed to just we're supposed to live, like, have uh you know because the real testament of man, I think, like X said one time, DMX said, listen, not what he does for himself, but what he does for others. And that's really true, man. It's like what you do for other people, man. That's really a testament to an actual man. But also too, man, people don't like when Jake is a prime mover in his life, man. That's why people don't like a Floyd Mayweather. That's why you know even the whole, like, LeBron decision almost 15 years ago, or even KD, man, people don't like that, man. Because people just feel like, that sense of entitlement. Like we just start off in the video, they just have that about that, man. And I noticed that too even amongst our people, but no, most importantly, like, Jake, man, like, most importantly, like, the Israelite man, like, the so-called black man, like, they just, like, like the they pretty much, man, they that's another video for another day, man. Because they, like, even when we die, man, I remember talking about this with brothers that that was teaching downtown, man. Like, shout out to them brothers too. Every time we die, it really started with the death of Yahushua, man. When Jake dies, when the so-called black man dies, it's a spiritual energy, like it's a sacrifice that happens, man. Too, that's why people talk about Tupac and Biggie and all that stuff to this day, man. It's a certain, like, even when the so-called, like, black, when Jake is gunned down, killed by the police, when so-called black man is killed by police, man. Like, that's why it makes worldwide, like, news or nationwide news, man. Because it's like, a lot of times people just are like, you know entitled to this so-called black man's, like, this energy and spirit, because it really comes from the Most High Yahushua, and that really started with Yahushua. And listen, I say it to say too with that as well, because I'm just saying that when people try to use it just for just their own game, but then just toss us to the side. Because listen, like, because even in the word, like, listen, I'm the type listening, but you're supposed to want you, but at the same time too, you're supposed to want that as well. But in the I'm saying that as being like, okay, here's what I'm saying. It's like, listen, this is more aspect of being misused when they do it to Jake, man. Like, when they do it to Jake, but not in forward. Because listen, we, like, especially with the Most High Yahshua, of course, being a light to the Gentiles, be a light amongst your people, being a light to the world. Like, of course, you want them, this people to siphon off, like, this Most High Yahushua spirit, the Most High Yahushua's, that you want them siphon off of that, man, because to live faithfully and righteously. But it's just, honestly, I'm just talking about in the aspect on this time, like, when like all these different demographics use it just for, like, just misuse it, honestly, like, this, like, they want just to benefit off of it, and like, just treat treat Jake like, like nothing. So, hey, if that makes sense, man, that's just me. I'm just talking as a man. But pretty much, man, let's get to Romans 13:8. It says, "Owe no man anything but to love one another. But for he that loveth another have fulfilled the law." So, yeah, man. So, yeah, man. That's what. But anyway, man. That's what we do owe the world, man. Meaning our people, man. Like, the world as in the world of Israel. Like, to love one another, man. And also too, man, we do owe the world, like, have to take care of the earth as well, man. But the earth will be defiled, like, even physically, man, because, like, second as I said, the world was created for our sakes. But But a certain way, like that's why Proverbs says, listen, how you even treat animals, how you don't be a lion amongst things. Pretty much, man. Don't all things that you're over. You never want to be a tyrant over, man. You don't want to be a tyrant, So, because there's a certain way in that, you treat your people that's under you, subordinates, yeah, man, because that's what the Most High Yahushua does, man. Even in that, they're fully just because they do what they want to do. Because he does say in Ezekiel, "I'm a rain on you, great fury." So yeah, you need that, especially when dealing with the people like this. So that's just is what it is, man. Hopefully it's edifying, man. So peace.